Board meeting to order. Roll call
President Byrne,
here.
Trustee Cook,
Here.
Trustee Williams,
Here.
Trustee Hebda,
Here.
Trustee Schultz,
Here.
Trustee Markwart.
Here.
Would everybody please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance?
Yell at him tonight.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The eagle was ready to fly up here. Leaning out.
Okay. Are there any citizens who wish to address the board tonight on anything other than what's on committee of the whole? Because if it's on committee of the whole, we'll certainly recognize you then. Okay. Village Manager Calmer, Village Code Amendment of Chapter.
Thank you, Your Honor. In your packet was a memo with regards to Amendment Chapter 2, which is the section that deals with the finance director's position. Basically, what we're doing here is updating this as a part of a series of upgrades or updates, I should say, of the individual positions that are established by the code. In this upgrade, really what we're doing is a couple of things. First of all, in Article 3, Division 4, it creates the office of, it did create the office of Financial Director and Treasurer. This was the original title from the original ordinance that was created back in 1984, I think prior to or right as Larry arrived. With his pending retirement, I wanted to update this section along with the job title to be actually more reflective of what the title has been unofficially for years, and secondly, what is reflective of the current duties and responsibilities of the position going forward. In the memo, as you'll note, the title has been changed to reflect Finance Director Treasurer. The definitions include now that the position is an officer of the village, that the appointment of the position or the person to take the position is consistent with Section 2-267, which you amended previously about 2 years ago before I took my position. And basically what it says is the department head is recommended by the village manager to the village president, and the village president makes the appointment with advice and consent of the village board. This is again consistent with how things operate and have operated in the past. It also indicates that the finance director / treasurer shall be selected based on executive and administrative qualifications. Then additional changes here. We eliminated subsections B and C of 2-207. There was a severance provision that was provided for in the village code. I truly have never seen that in a code of ordinances in other communities, so we're taking it out here, or I'm proposing to take it out. Again, that's consistent with other communities. And also there's an update on how an acting finance director would be appointed. Finally, the two items that go along with this, the Section 2-208 reflects the actual duties and really provides a significant upgrade in terms of what Larry has done over the years versus what was originally shown in items 1 through 8 in the code. And then finally, in 209, it allows the finance director treasurer to appoint a finance it currently allows the appointment of a deputy finance director / treasurer. As we talked about it, we are changing the title and downgrading that position slightly to an assistant to the finance director / treasurer. So the title's been changed and the appointment requires the concurrence of the village manager. So that's...
And does that change the pay scale?
No, there's nothing in this section of the ordinance that deals with the pay scale at all, so.
That'll come later.
It does. So that's what's reflected
No, I
in.
mean, does the new village finance director like that?
Like
I don't know if she knows it.
the
Why did you all, obviously you all discussed.
yeah, we've talked about that. We'll get to that. The range is the same as what Larry is for the finance director. We did not adjust the assistant to the finance director's range, from what I recall. So, but we'll bring that back at a,
So the title will be changed,
correct.
and the current title is?
Deputy, or a deputy finance director / treasurer. That's what the code says.
And what's Nikki's title now?
Well, Nikki's title now is assistant finance director. I'm sorry. So they don't match up,
Until January.
so,
I appreciate
yeah,
it.
until January 7th.
It's okay. All right.
So these are the proposed changes. And if, with your concurrence, if you're okay with these, it would be recommended that the staff be directed to prepare the necessary ordinance to amend the village code as presented.
Okay. Well, this is on committee of the whole.
What's that? This is
Oh, no,
not,
it's on omnibus.
correct.
Oh, okay, fine. All right.
So you need a motion?
We don't need it yet, do we?
Yes,
Yes.
they haven't, it's.
Oh, it's not on the
Right.
list.
No, it's not.
This is being proposed.
I'm sorry, I'm not being preemptive in this.
Motion to amend Chapter 2 of the Village Code per the little,
And to direct, the staff.
and direct staff to
Okay.
prepare the necessary
Second.
ordinances or whatever to accomplish said task.
Got it.
Is there a second?
Yes, yes.
Okay, well, you know, you're chewing. I didn't see, and this is the bad eye, so, you know, you can't be
All
putting a
right,
finger.
take that down.
Okay, there's a motion, a second. Roll call, please.
Trustee Williams?
Aye.
Trustee Hebda? Aye. Trustee Schultz?
Aye.
Trustee Markwart?
Aye.
Trustee Cook?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Chief Fleshauer?
Just two items. Since this is the last meeting we have before Halloween, we just thought it appropriate to announce that the official approved hours for trick or treating are Saturday, October 31st, from 4 in the afternoon till 8 in the evening. There's more information on our website and on our Facebook page.
Okay. And then, what is it, the night before the Park District's got the indoor party?
Correct.
Cindy,
Yes, they do. Fall Festival.
what
yeah.
does it start, like about 5?
I think it starts at 6 to 10
6 to 10 at the Sullivan
at the
Center.
Sullivan Center, yeah.
Okay. For those who want to go indoors.
You have to buy a ticket.
Or,
Or you
have
go
to
to the
buy-
mall.
You could,
oh, really?
Yeah, because
Oh, okay.
otherwise they'll
Because
be.
of the crowd?
Because there'd just be too many people. So you can get a
Okay,
ticket
okay.
at the Park District, so. And they're selling out fast.
Mall
would-
does
mall
something?
Last year.
I think the
Does-
mall will do something in the afternoon on Saturday.
mall doing
maybe.
anything,
I don't
Steve?
know.
I'm not sure.
They did last year.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure. And if they do, it'd probably be during the day on Saturday.
Can we
Yeah.
find out and put it on the website
Sure,
if they do?
Sure.
Helpful for people to look it up.
All right.
Most of the stores put a special little symbol in the window.
Right, that they could stop and trick or treat, yeah.
Police Department dates for building rededication.
this is the good part. As some of you know or may not know, our building is about 95% complete. Furniture was delivered and installed over the weekend. We are preparing to move in phases, beginning next Monday. It's going to take a while for everybody to get in, to make sure all the data lines are all functioning and phone lines are all functioning, and to get our property and evidence and the armory and everything reset back up. But we'd like to talk to you about a rededication date. The date we can always pick later, but I wanted to check with you and find out if you had any preference. Did you want to do this like on a Saturday? Did you want to do this, I thought we could do something like maybe at 5 o'clock in the evening on a board meeting. We could do the rededication, okay, and then,
Well, yeah, I
Meander
mean, you
over.
want to have people come besides us.
well, I don't know that it'll be 100% ready for an open house.
Oh,
Like I said, our armory and property and evidence and stuff are not going to be set up for a few more weeks. That's going to come later.
Do it,
But the building will be about 90% occupied by everyone else.
so you could,
Wait and do a big one, like you said.
Can have two.
We could have two.
would you want to do something now and?
Well, we could do something, it would probably be like the second or third week in November, before Thanksgiving.
Now,
Just to rededicate
Right now. And then we'll probably do an open house in the spring,
spring.
in conjunction with the fire department. The fire department does an open house, I believe, like in May. They do their pancake breakfast, and then we used to do the open house at like 1 o'clock following their pancake
Right.
breakfast, so people could just walk on over, and we will do that again.
Okay.
But this would just be for village officials.
And then maybe wait till it's spring.
Yeah, for
the open house.
Yeah, I would.
Correct, correct. Because by that time, weather's going to get kind of
Sure.
crummy.
Well, we could have done it in the winter, but, we had to cut out the heated, parking lot.
Yeah, the underground heated parking garage and a swimming pool and the hot tub.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's stuff.
You know.
So, but anyway, what would you prefer? Would you prefer to do a special day like on a weekend or a weeknight or the same night as a board meeting, just a couple hours earlier? We could do sandwiches and things like that, so you
You
could,
could, you know what, I don't care if you do it on a Saturday morning,
Yeah,
Okay.
that would be
and
nice.
boom,
okay.
just,
Then you
I just
You
know
don't
that
have
it's
to do
sometimes
any-
difficult to get everyone together, so.
okay, water, okay. And Trustee Williams will help organize this, I'm not.
There you go. I'll work with
Okay, then we'll work on a Sunday morning and we will
No, not
let you know.
Saturday.
Saturday.
I'm sorry,
Saturday.
Saturday morning, and we will let you know plenty
And
of time
please
ahead of
don't
time.
put the 7th of November.
No,
We could
can't. I
do
won't
it
be in
late,
town on the
right?
7th.
I won't either.
Pardon me?
We can do it, what's the third weekend, it's not Thanksgiving.
No, thanks,
The 21st.
Thanksgiving's the 26th,
No.
I believe. So we were looking at the
do it-
21st?
Yeah,
Okay.
Jim's not going to be here.
was he, he'll be,
He's not here.
he'll be in,
Where'd Jim go?
No, I'll be on a cruise.
he'll be in a foreign country.
Yes, I will be in a.
All right, well, how about
He's here.
okay, Cindy can't do it on the 7th, how about the 14th?
14th's good.
Wait a minute.
14th's good for me. Yeah.
Okay. We'll do the 14th.
Yeah.
10 a.m.?
That's that.
Yes,
Yeah,
Everybody's checking their whatever.
I'll be there.
what time, I'm sorry?
10 a.m.
we can make it
I can't get this,
9 a.m.
I can't get it to.
Okay? 10,
I've been overruled.
A. VHB.
We'll send out a notice to everybody,
Yeah.
so you don't need to worry about it.
You know what? We have these electronic devices.
I'm trying to make your life,
I just don't know how to use them, that's right.
Oh, no, I know how to use it for this kind of stuff.
I wasn't going to say
not,
anything.
I gotta get my grandson to fix this so I can do it. but
I
that's
hit the
okay.
save button, it's in the system.
I think I'm kidding. I've got it down for 19 a.m.
Tom, what is that?
Yeah.
The islands, we're leaving on
Okay. Chief, anything else?
That's it, sir. Thank you.
So, and the sworns are happy.
They're thrilled.
They're what?
They're thrilled. Yes. Everyone is very, very happy. It turned out beautiful.
It's functional now.
It's nicer than functional. It's very, very nice.
Good.
You know, it's like a third of the building that we've had for years that's been unoccupied because of the way it was designed, is now usable. It's
And
beautiful.
Chief, I just want to hear, from you while you're still here, that this will be the last time we have to do anything to the police department.
This will be the last building you'll ever build as long as I'm here.
You know, I remember hearing that.
Not for.
1992 by the former village, by the
Yeah,
former
90
assistant village
90,
manager.
91, no.
Yeah.
I still want him to stain the ugly yellow brick brown so it matches the other building.
Okay,
So
so
it's still on your agenda. You
Something
can't
to work
leave
for.
let the
until that gets
record
stained.
reflect the courage.
And I'll mention that Kevin helped us finance that building with the ugly stain.
Well, he's gonna get some airtime, right? On committee of the whole, is that why he's
Oh,
here?
no,
Larry?
he's under unfinished
Oh,
additional business.
okay. All right, okay, chief, thanks. Oop, no, that's this? Oh. Okay, next is,
A through G.
yeah, omnibus vote agenda. Items A through, somebody said
See,
C.
G.
All right,
G.
G. All right, is there a motion to approve?
So made.
Does anybody want to pull anything, discuss anything? No.
Second it.
Okay, we got a motion, and a second, roll call, please.
Trustee Hebda?
Aye.
Trustee Schultz?
Aye.
Trustee Markwart?
Aye.
Trustee Cook?
Aye.
Trustee Williams?
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay. This is where Kevin has the speaking part?
I think so, because there's blank here.
Larry, or,
Nikki, right.
Larry, do you want to take item A?
Right, item A is, we issued two series of bonds today. 2015A, which was for reimbursing the village for our $1.5 million contribution to OPA, and I apologize for the misspelling in the Sniglet. And also the $500,000 for the new radio system for police. And B was the refinancing of the 2007 TIF revenue bonds, who had a coupon of around 6%. Kevin, do you want to talk about the results of the bids and you know, how, and kind of the rates of return and so forth? Or, I'm sorry, the internal interest rate and so forth.
Good evening. Yeah, we had two sales today. They were competitively bid this morning. As Larry said, the first sale was for new money or reimbursement money. There were, I think you have a copy of our packet. There were 4 bidders. And since this is now done on the internet, the more interesting page is always the second one, which shows the bids. Robert W. Baird won the sale. They bid one time, but the other 3 bidders bid 6, 11, and 4 times. They really wanted your paper. The interesting thing is this is 19-year maturities, and the interest rate was 2.61%. So really very favorable. They keep talking about interest rates going up, but it hasn't happened yet. This is just a really very strong sale. So, but Baird came in, but the second sale, the refunding, was really the spectacular one. That's back, I think, 6 pages. And again, that's on our letterhead, but this is 15B. There were 8 bidders. But those 8 bidders put in 58 bids, and it was really lots of fun to watch because it's like eBay, and they keep extending it because the bidders, and again on the second page of the packet area there, where it shows Raymond James was the best bidder. They bid 3 times, but you had FTN, which is Tennessee, and then BOSC, which is Oklahoma. They bid 12 and 15 times, and then you had Mesro out of Chicago bid 11 times, and all the rest. So people really wanted this. It was a very attractive, it's AAA. You kept your AAA from S&P. It was a good maturity schedule. It went out just about 10 years or 11 years, and so it was a very attractive piece of paper, good size, as Larry said, your existing rate is 6.1% on the revenue bonds. We've converted them into general obligation bonds at a rate of 2.6%, or
Not 2.06, right?
I'm sorry, I got the wrong one. 1.8%, and so we're seeing a 4.3% drop in interest cost.
What's the term?
It was 6.1%.
No, the term.
The term, there's no extension of term, it all goes to 26.
So-
And because there were different reserve accounts and such in the
How many years
funds.
are left on the TIF account?
11 years.
11.
Yeah, and because we used reserve accounts and other funds that Larry had in the TIF monies, we were able to greatly reduce the size of the financing, so that instead of, it was originally issued, there was a balloon at the end, hoping that was all be successful, and now it's nice level debt service, as is shown in the packet. And I guess I would just, the last comment I'd make would be about the S&P rating report, which is attached at the back. They go through, they've gotten very mechanical about certain factors, and they now have a grid, and you fill this in, and they go through your audit and everything else, and they rank all the different factors. And on the first page, they list the 7 major factors, and the village comes in as 3 of them are ranked very strong, and 4 of them are ranked strong. And I think that's a great report card. And the very strong economy, strong management, strong budgetary performance, very strong budgetary flexibility, and the one that S&P keys in on greatly is liquidity. And there you come in at very strong liquidity, with total government available cash of 127% of fund expenditures. So this is, it's about the best rating report I've seen in a long time. So,
With the second one, with the TIF one, I guess it's really more directed to you, Larry. With that balloon at the end, we probably weren't going to go red until we got to the balloon, right? Before.
I put something in the packet, and it wasn't quite correct. I'm going to distribute something else that kind of addresses what you were talking about.
Okay, because now we'll probably go red sooner, but overall, the redness won't be as bad.
Kevin, let me ask you a question. Did we do this and something similar on this at the TIF, I think, several years ago?
Oh, we did one in 2012 where we refunded the notes.
Yeah.
yeah, the TIF notes got refinanced then, yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that interest rate dropped from what to what, Larry?
Oh, it dropped from, I believe it was 8% on those notes to,
1.9?
to one, at one point, yeah, it was certainly sub 2.
What was it?
It was less
Below
than
2.
2%.
Yeah, I know, I remember. Did that save us money?
Yeah, that saved us something like $1.3 million. This one I think saved us something like $1.6 million.
Over how many years?
Life of the TIP. So at that time, it was probably about 14, 15 years.
So this is another $2 million savings.
Yeah.
So that's you
So
know, I
now
think-
we're up to almost 3 mil?
Yeah,
Let's see.
or,
right.
yeah, over.
And what was the total of bonds, 15 million?
Let me see, we had originally done about 16 million, just shy of 16 million.
Okay.
And now we're gonna be, we'll be for the while under 15 million, about 14 something, but we're gonna be retiring debt very quickly, which is actually getting back to Jim's question.
Yeah, okay.
And I had, what I had neglected on the spread, on what I distributed in the packet, we're actually using part of the surplus, as Kevin mentioned, to reduce the amount of principal. That's why the surplus isn't as big as it would be. But on the plus side, the numbers on the debt service on that column for 2015, which is basically totals of $6,641,000, is a lot less than what Spear had conservativany projected for us. So
This
that,
is your handout?
yeah, that's my handout.
How come you don't put your name on it anywhere?
He's not crazy.
Of course, it's village property.
Council, could you speak to that one? What do you mean, it's village property? A piece of paper?
Intellectual.
Or the
property.
intellectual now?
Yeah, now,
Intellectual property. So according to
We
this,
find out, if we, from, the AML, do we have, cyber liability coverage?
so
Okay, all right, I'm only kidding. Larry.
basically, we go red in 20 if we don't achieve any additional development.
right, that's exactly it. But I think part of
But it's fairly nominal. We should be
Right.
able to cover,
Well, what is it, 90 grand?
90.
well, 90 the first year,
90,000.
but basically 200 grand
Yeah,
over
yeah,
the
yeah.
remaining
Well, it
year.
grows,
Right.
yeah, sure.
And what we're able to do in the next 5 years, we have a $670,000 loan from the replacement fund. We should be able to repay that in the next 5 years.
Yeah.
And then what we also have is an even debt service for the last, 7, 8 years of the bond, so.
Yeah.
Any rate.
So essentially, we'll be ready to do another TIF in 2027.
Give or take.
Which is why I don't want to be there then, but I'm sorry. If I can just be nostalgic for 1 minute, I think we all remember 2007, 2008.
Ooh.
When
When things were booming?
when we were worried that this TIF had very little that was going
Right.
to pay for it, and so I
Then it
think,
got worse, remember? Then it really got worse, you know?
so,
Then it got bad.
I
really
think
got
with
bad.
a good refinancing plan, a lot of help from Spear and a lot of help from people like Taxman,
Yeah.
we've really, you know,
Pulled it out.
we've really been able to,
A lot of help from the Federal Reserve,
yeah.
squeezing
Oh,
interest
yeah,
rates down.
we got to thank the Federal Reserve too. We've really been able to turn this
Yeah.
ship around.
But this negative number is very, very manageable. And of course, we all know that we've got good plans, looks like, in place to finish the development, so that'll assist greatly.
Yeah.
So, by the skin of our teeth, it looks like we're going to be all right with our TIF.
Well, you know,
Our
we're not gonna have,
experimental
we're not gonna have any more discussions about going out 35 years by statute, right?
Oh, Lord.
Right? Is
Yeah,
that correct,
getting the
Bob?
Extension, right, yeah.
Take it out the, you know, did that catch you at a bad time, or?
The village has the ability to extend the
Right,
TIF
yeah.
35
Well, I remember
years
we had that
downstate.
discussion when,
Yes.
you know, the wolf was really at the door.
We've
Oh, boy.
continuously had that
Wow.
discussion up until tonight, and I think
Yeah,
tonight we can put
yeah.
it to rest.
No, so that, no, this is very good. And, you know, we got some nice bids.
And,
Yes.
and
Yeah,
thanks to Kevin for helping. I mean, this was such a tremendous sale, and we really, I mean, the rate we got was just tremendous, and we,
yeah, you know, you have my blessing, and I assume the board, Larry, that, you know, when you vacation in New York City, you know, would Kevin be your tour guide?
I don't think he goes.
Does he have more, does he have more knowledge of New York than you?
Let's see, I have more knowledge of basically plastic places than he does, but I think of the kind of more authentic places in New York City, Kevin has more knowledge.
Plastic is that what you said, plastic?
Yeah, yeah,
Yep, that's what he said.
yeah.
All right.
I'm-
I mean, that's places that got.
Olive Garden versus Mama Luigi.
Oh, I know, I was gonna
over on Houston
say,
Street.
or I thought maybe there was the places that had like kind of Vegas lighting,
Oh.
Times Square and all that, you know?
yeah.
The only reason we're talking like this, folks, is
Yeah.
Larry's
You're-
actually
you're my-
retiring. Larry's actually retiring January 1st?
January 6th.
Six.
January 6th, so at that point, he can meet anybody he wants anytime.
You
Right?
have to give him a hard time.
And I can give him a hard time till the 6th,
That's
right?
right.
Okay.
I don't think it stops then, but one could.
Well,
hope.
you know.
That's right.
So I got your cell number. I could text you. I should start texting you. Are you a Mets fan?
You know what?
Oh.
I am as much a fan of the Chicago Cubs as I am of any team in Major League Baseball.
All right.
So you have no affiliation to any New York team?
I am not a fan of any baseball team.
He should run for office.
He really should.
I mean, this is like, yeah. Yeah, he wants out.
He's gonna
Okay.
pick up his book in a minute.
All right.
Start wondering away.
Thanks, Larry. Kevin, you want to say anything else?
No,
or-
no, just vote yes.
Thank you, Kevin.
Yeah, I assume we will at this point, you know.
It's great.
Larry, you're going to need to give them the numbers to fill in the ordinance title.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see. Ooh, that-
What pages?
There's three different ones, I think.
What's this?
let's see.
On the first page, there's one, the preambles. There's two.
Who's got the numbers?
Oh, it's,
Larry's
it-
getting them.
it's in one of the attachments that we got from Chapman and Cutler. Well, it's not in that one.
You know, well, in this lull, if we turned the video off and the mics, I could tell some humorous anecdotes about the time Lashin and I, Kevin and Larry went to New York.
Oh, I could tell you
Moving
some
on.
too, but we won't.
We went twice. Well, and once with McAllison. But the special trip was Larry and Larry. And that was in the summertime. Remember?
Yeah, I sure do.
I don't
It was
remember
special, I know that.
what time of the year we went.
Okay, so it's an ordinance providing for the issuance of 2,005,000 general obligation bonds, Series 215A, and 5,255,000 general obligation refunding bonds, Series 2015B, of the Village of Vernon Hills, Lake County, Illinois, for the purpose of financing capital improvements within the village and refunding certain outstanding bonds of the village, authorizing the execution of an escrow letter agreement in connection therewith, providing for the levy and collection of a direct annual tax sufficient for the payment of principal of and interest on said bonds, pledging certain incremental taxes from a redevelopment project area of the village to the payment of said 2015B bonds, and authorizing the sale of said bonds to the purchasers thereof.
Okay,
You get that?
Move to adopt as Larry so noted.
Second.
motion and a second. Comments or questions? Roll call.
Yeah, I guess.
Trustee Schultz?
Aye.
Trustee Markwart?
Aye.
Trustee Cook?
Aye.
Trustee Williams?
Aye.
Trustee Hebda?
Aye.
For the record, I'd vote aye. Motion carries. Okay,
Come on.
okay. Adios, Kevin.
Thank you, Kevin.
Thank you.
Okay, next
Thanks, Larry.
is, well, we did A and B, right?
I don't know.
Or we gotta do B?
B.
B is the one.
Okay, approval and passage of resolution 2015155, approving a bond record-keeping policy for the Village of Vernon Hills, Lake County, Illinois. Larry, do you have to speak to this one at all? B?
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot.
No, I mean, if you don't need to speak to it.
It's a good thing I'm retiring. I've forgotten how to.
You're getting a little drifty?
Yeah. So this is, Chapman and Cutler recommends the passage of this resolution, basically verifying that we comply with the IRS requirements for record keeping for issuance of municipal bonds, which we do, and the fact that we're passing this policy is also something noted when we file our tax return when we issue these bonds.
Okay.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Trustee Markwart?
Aye.
Trustee Cook?
Aye.
Trustee Williams?
Aye.
Trustee Hebda?
Aye.
Trustee Schultz?
Aye.
Did you get everybody?
No.
Motion carries.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And new business approval and passage of resolution 2015154, resolution authorizing the purchase of one 2015 John Deere 624. Is that the amount of it?
No.
That's the
Model number,
right?
sir.
I saw the K. I'm going, what?
I did too. I'm
How
like,
many
whoa.
wheels it has?
Six-
It has
six-
624,000 wheels.
Yeah.
Okay, the K threw me off. I get nervous when I see
Yes.
Ks. Wheel loader from West Side Tractor Sales for an amount not to exceed $129,000. Where's West Side at? Are they,
Wakanda.
oh, okay, great.
Oh.
So you may recall, as part of the FY 14-15 budget, the village board did authorize and include this within the budget, but there was a directive to, research, because we had a number of large pieces of equipment in that budget year. So one of them was the backhoe, and the front end, the wheel loader was the other. The backhoe we ended up refurbishing, and that's serving us well. There's still some problems with it. This wheel loader, very critical piece of equipment for our snow fighting operations. We did look at brand new, we looked at used, we looked at refurbishing, and based on the spreadsheet that I've included in the packet, our recommendation is to purchase new. You get the warranty. The comparable ones in terms of used were roughly $6,000 difference in price.
Is this the only type we'll have?
We have two of one. We have one that's actually only a couple years newer than this one. It doesn't have as much use. It's more in the yard. This one is the one that goes and pushes back all the intersections, has a bigger yard bucket.
Okay. And now, who's our insurance guru now? Nikki?
Yes,
Sure
Your
you wanted to
Honor.
raise your hand or? No, I'm just curious, under our policy, if we have to, go out and lease or rent, a piece of mobile equipment or, the biggest V plow we got. I mean, is there any coverage under the friendly policy with IML?
There is, it's, and
$30
you
a
can
day.
correct me if, on the terminology here, but they insure us for a group of vehicles, so we can add and delete throughout the year
How
without
about the
additional
mobile
charges.
equipment that's not plated? I mean, like,
We can do that as well. So we have an
We
inland
have
marine
that?
equipment schedule that all of our equipment is on, and Public Works reviews that every year as
Yeah.
part of our renewal process.
right?
And then as we acquire equipment, we add that.
But if we have to lease something because it breaks, or rent it.
We can do that as well, yes.
Well, I mean,
So
it's on
we
the policy
do
now?
that, yes.
Okay,
It's included. We can do that.
okay. Just
eh,
just curious.
Okay. And maybe adding to that, there was $140,000 budgeted with our trade-in. This is $129,100, and staff recommends moving forward with the purchase. It is available in the Conda yard. They do not have to build this for us and us to wait until midwinter to receive it.
Is this similar to the Park District's unit?
I'm not aware of what the Park District.
Why, they were clearing out the CV ditch yesterday morning this morning.
Okay.
I don't.
I-
I have a feeling this is slightly larger than the Park District's.
This stood pretty tall. And he was driving it up Fairway to get back to wherever.
Okay.
You driving down the creek?
No. They were at the head of the creek here, pulling out, I guess, during the last heavy rain,
Oh, okay.
a lot of logs and
Put on
whatever.
both sides of 45?
Well, just the, whatever, was it the leeward side? Whatever, the upstream side.
Okay. I mean, coming north.
No, yeah, from the north side, clearing the flow, because I think it was getting full of debris and logs. But anyway,
Yeah.
just, so we may have a backup there, just in case we need something for an emergency basis.
Yeah, we work well with all of our partners, and they'd be
Absolutely.
glad to share with them. Yeah.
Plus township, huh?
Absolutely, the township helps support us too, and vice versa. Good relationship.
Okay. Okay, okay, is there a motion to approve?
So made.
Second? And there's a second, Barb? Okay, roll call, please.
Trustee Cook?
Aye.
Trustee Williams? Trustee Hebda?
Aye.
Trustee Schultz?
Aye.
Trustee Markwart?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Other items? Is this just new business or communication? Does anybody have any? Okay, Trustee Schultz.
I just want to add my personal thanks to everyone that came out on Saturday during the day to help with the demolition of the kids' castle. I thought it went very well. They had scheduled another event for next Saturday, but apparently everybody was, I only could stay for about 4 hours. Apparently through the rest of the day, they finished up and the job is done. And the one thing, as we were lifting out the patio blocks and stacking them, I came across Trustee Schwartz's patio block, so I took a photograph of it and sent it to her. She was appreciative.
It's nice.
Yeah, anyway, bottom line is, there was a good crowd out there, from a wide cross-section of both folks from town and folks that used to live here and now live in other communities that participated in the original construction, and they came back just to be part of this activity. So it was a very nice event, and Park District did a nice job of managing it. Yelled at those miscreants that climbed up ladders that weren't supposed to take things apart, and but it was a good time. It was a lot of fun and a good workout.
Trustee Hebb.
I believe too, John, Dave, they're supposed to contact you to kind of help finish things up next Saturday, as I understand it, correct?
Yeah, Jeff had contacted us ahead of time. We had something scheduled prior to last Saturday for removal. Sounded like they didn't need us up front, but they would like us to help them before next week, so we'll make that happen.
Then, in the transmittal memo that was sent to us on the 16th, there is information about the strategic plan update, and John recommended that we do possibly this National Citizens Survey. I like the idea. I'd like to see us pursue it just as we get ready to probably look at updating that. I think, John, you said that Libertyville has started one. I believe like Zurich has done something as well. It's just to get some input from residents as we go through and try to figure out where we're going forward over the next 5 to 7 years. So I don't know if we can bring that back to the next board meeting to talk about.
Sure.
And at least get an approval, a yea or a nay, as to if we want to proceed, but I do like the idea.
What I can do is I can reach out to the company and get a cost estimate and
Yep.
during the
Great.
survey. And yeah, Libertyville started theirs in September, so from what I understand. So
Good.
it's about a 4 to 5 month process where you formulate the survey, you add the questions, and then you begin the mail out process to notify people. You then do
And we
the
get some
survey.
good input too.
So, yeah.
Okay,
So,
but that's at least from this chair, I'd like to see something.
Trustee Williams.
Mine is not bad things, but good thing also. I just want to thank the senior citizens for having us over for luncheon on Friday. It was a very good food, very good comforting, and totally enjoyed it. It was a good time.
White Deer?
It was up at White Deer.
Yeah,
It was held
White
at
Deer Run in Vernon Hills.
and Vernon Hills. Also, I noticed tonight our carpeting. When are we going to be replacing this? Does anybody know?
Maybe I can address that. As a part of the budget review and also then the implications of what went on down in, what's going on down in Springfield, or the lack thereof. Staff took a look at a list, and we created a delay or deferred list. Those projects that were deemed to be critical or were in the pipeline already, we continued on with those, but there were also some of those that we delayed. One of those items that was delayed was the $25,000 or $30,000 to do the carpet.
Yeah.
We can move forward with that. It was just taking a very conservative approach in terms of the budget to kind of say, you know what, we may be able to live with this another year while Springfield kind of sorts out what they're doing.
We'll have to wait for Springfield. We won't get it
Yeah.
done in the next year and a half at least.
I knew when I
Yeah.
said that I was going to.
Well, where are the trip hazards?
gonna
On
happen.
these 2 squares there?
That's
Well, I mean, really, there's no trip hazards per
No,
se here.
just-
It is 14 years old, I think now, something like that, Dave, and
Just some really bad spots.
staying,
Well,
Yeah.
it's 2002, right?
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
so-
Yes, I think it was too.
stained, very faded. So, I mean, if you'd like me to.
No, no, that's fine.
Okay,
Thank you.
Yeah, you don't have. Yeah,
Okay.
We can live with this. for-
I can live with this. I was just
Okay,
curious.
and in addendum to, the comments from trustee Schultz, I was part of the second shift at the Kids Castle project. And, you know, it was nice to see some people there that actually were there that built the castle 18 years ago. So, I know you participated, I know I participated.
I couldn't, I was
Did-
babysitting.
Anybody else participate?
No, I did not participate.
Well, I'm not asking you if you did. Cook, did you show up? No, okay, well, it's immaterial. But I mean, in that regard, you know, it was kind of nice to build the thing, and, you know, I don't know, it seemed like we were out there for days, because,
Oh, the original?
yeah, I don't
Oh,
think
yeah.
there was any pros came in.
No,
No.
This was just keep
It was just
going.
people.
it took a little bit of time.
Yeah, so anyway, but that was, I mean, obviously it was a nice place, and hopefully they're gonna save some remnants of it. I think they are, aren't they?
Yes, they are.
Yeah, that was
I
part
mean,
of
They're
my,
saving
some
the
wooden bridge or something.
I was the historical preservationist.
40.
I took apart all the little pieces of
designs?
artwork, yeah,
Yeah.
that the kids had painted.
Yeah.
And I got them all off, and I didn't break any of
Oh, good.
So they're all
Yeah.
Oh,
in a
cute.
tub.
Are they all wood?
Yeah,
They're wood.
they were made
Yeah.
out of woolmanized or pressure-treated wood, and they were painted.
Yeah.
on
Trustee Schultz, or
Now-
Schwartz will be glad to hear that, because she was very
So-
concerned about
there.
those.
Yeah, no,
So-
actually, I advised her that
Yes.
that was a
So-
good way to keep me out of harm after they yelled at me for
And-
being up
and-
on the ladder.
And the reality of the situation is, how soon will be the new equipment put in?
Next spring.
Yeah.
And that's funded?
Kind of, sort of.
That I don't.
They believe it is.
They believe it is, but I don't think it's believed.
Okay. All right, well, that's great. Okay, yeah, it's a new year, hope, you know, change, all that'll be coming.
Yep.
Okay, well, with that said, there's nothing else on this agenda. So is there a motion, do we have to bring anything back from, okay.
And we're going
And we're going to close session for what, personnel? Okay. No litigation?
No, sir.
All right.
Nothing to
No
report.
land acquisition?
Nothing to report on, Your Honor.
Really? Okay. That's nice. All right, well, is there a motion to adjourn
So moved.
the
Second.
board meeting and go into the committee at all? Motion is second, roll call, please.
Trustee Williams?
Aye.
Trustee Hebda?
Aye.
Trustee Schultz?
Aye.
Trustee Markwart?
Aye.
Trustee Cook?
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay, I'd like to call the committee the whole meeting to
Oh, come on.
order. What's the first order is the approval of minutes
So moved.
Second.
from September 15th, 2015.
September.
Any comments, questions, corrections, or deletions? No? Okay. Got a motion and a second? Roll
Yes.
call.
Trustee Williams?
Aye.
Trustee Hebda?
Aye.
Trustee Schultz?
Aye.
Trustee Markwart?
Aye.
Trustee Cook?
Aye.
Motion carries. Holiday decorations. Public Works Director Dave Brown.
Thank you. There's been discussions as far as how to transition from our previous holiday light show to decorating the village. I believe we've captured the intent of our discussions with the board. Staff has, the elves have been around town talking to different business owners, talking to other agencies to try to implement this. Different levels of success. The mall and some other people don't have the electricity in the location we really need to, so less opportunities there. But we've had new groups step forward. Ernie's, they said that they were interested. The Park District said they were interested. The Fire District, they also are talking to the church.
American Hotel?
American Hotel Register, of course, thumbs up from them.
Great.
And, you know, so we're continuing to work through it, working with Bob Kinney to draft an agreement to share with them
Yeah.
for them to sign.
We could put something at the summer celebration site, right? We got juice there, don't we?
We do have juice there, and that's one of the locations we're talking to with the Park District. So we want to move forward with implementing. during the budget discussions, there's no money that was placed in a budget line item because we figured the light show was closing. So we've put together what the price tag would be for this, and I'm asking for a $35,000 appropriation, well, it's not appropriation, $35,000 budget to move forward with this.
Who did you talk to at the mall?
We talked to, who's the, he is now over at the,
Tim Geiges.
what is it?
Tim Geiges.
Thank you very much. Tim Geiges and two other gentlemen. And it's really their electrical needs. We thought along Milwaukee Avenue with those larger billboard signs that they put
Where
in.
did you put them anyway? I mean, out by the street?
It was going to be off of Milwaukee Avenue.
Can you get any electricity from the old Fifth Third Bank?
They had a sign that was up.
Not at the level of what we need to. If there's one outlet, we could probably plug in.
Yeah, you know, it'd be interesting, couldn't you put, some of this stuff, it's not that heavy, on the roof of the mall?
With penetrations through a roof system, they weren't really fond or sparky about the idea.
Well, people are up there all the time. They gotta be up there all the time.
But they
There's a
usually,
lot of mechanicals up there.
but usually they put patio blocks
Well, I understand.
along a pathway. This would be on the perimeter, and that's not to the mechanical from the entry hatch.
Well, again, I've seen it. not built.
Well, there's gotta be a light.
There's gotta
outlets
be,
along the roadway
Yeah, and
somewhere.
there's gotta be a desire.
Well, desire.
That certainly helps. That certainly
And
helps.
we'll be talking to Goodwin pretty soon, right?
Yeah.
He's the.
So if
boss
there's
guy.
other assistance or persuasion that can happen with the mall, glad to have willing partners work with us to solve
I can't
that.
believe they don't want to figure something out. Anyway.
Yeah.
Are
But,
we in partnership with them on something?
Really? Really?
yeah,
Yeah.
They don't have the right to put it on Macy's, Sears, Carson's.
Oh, I'm sure they could put it where,
On that empty lot
the
over by
inline
Sears.
stores
Put
are.
on their sign.
That's
I'm
true.
yeah.
Inline stores.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's
That's all right, that's
That's
all
only the kind of tunnel ways there. The only
right.
place really.
Well,
would be-
how about Rust-Oleum? Are they gonna do anything?
Actually, we did not approach Rust-Oleum. But there's a few surprises. I guess there was what we shared with the board and committed to do, and we're trying to reach out to a few others to add to that, trying to make sure there's enough lights as part of the program. So we're going to meet the minimums, and hopefully we exceed expectations as we go along. I don't want to say we've got
it'll be
agreements with
some
everyone until we
surprise.
do. What's that?
Some holiday surprise.
You don't want to know what's in the gift. You want to,
That's
unwrap it, and
Right.
so that's what we're hoping to do.
Maybe,
So,
maybe Frosty will come back, huh?
Oh, goodness. Whose car is he gonna be in?
so we're making the, with Santa, making the rounds around town, and we're trying to get willing partners. We'll continue to do that. In terms of the money, which is most important to be able to implement this, 35,000 is,
Now, or
what's that?
you want the motion for the 35?
Motion to direct staff to create the necessary ordinances, et
Not to
cetera,
exceed.
What?
to spend up to $35,000 for holiday lighting.
Well, yeah.
And I appreciate that, and a slight clarification. I believe that we've saved enough money on the Arbor Theater stabilization that it might not have to be an appropriation. It may just be a budget transfer. We don't want to spend, additional, or have additional appropriations. We'll do a budget transfer instead, out of our existing budgets,
But, right, but due to the magnitude, it will be done
through resolution.
resolution.
Yeah.
There you go. So we'll just wait.
All right, so there's a motion and a
Thought you
second
said
on
to
this?
wait for a resolution.
I did make,
Oh,
Yeah. Did anybody second?
And I think instead of ordinance, you would say resolution, right, Larry?
That's correct.
Okay, so. if
So
you
the
would
first-
suggest-
that's what I was trying to get at.
Amends to resolution?
Resolution.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, and then who's the second?
Second.
Okay. Any other comments or questions? If not, roll call.
Trustee Hebden?
Aye.
Trustee Schultz?
aye.
Trustee Markwart?
Aye.
Trustee Cook?
Aye.
Trustee Williams?
Aye.
Okay, motion carries.
Thank you.
All right, discussion of financial impacts of state of Illinois budget crisis.
Oh, goodness.
AFD Larson, who's that?
That's me.
Nikki. Nikki,
I'm gonna sit over here so you can't throw anything at me.
wow.
Is
Assistant
that why
to-
you're sitting so low over there tonight?
Such a hostility. You know, you know.
This is weird.
Get what you get.
Hey, you could say that, save that for home, Nikki, okay? You won't hurt my feelings.
Get what you get.
Okay, in front of each of you is a printed copy of the PowerPoint for this evening. This is based off of the memo that was included in the packet. So there's no real new information in the PowerPoint. It's just kind of to help us as we go along, illustrate some of the points. We are.
Excuse me. I'm sorry, go ahead.
We are 4 months into the state of Illinois fiscal year, and our legislators, as you know, if you've been keeping up with the news, are still at an impasse in their budget discussions. The state of Illinois is facing a $5 billion deficit and will eventually exhaust resources that are currently appropriated from their prior fiscal year, which would include some revenues that are distributed to municipalities. The purpose of this presentation is to have a preemptive discussion on how the state's budget crisis may impact the village. I'm not seeking direction from the board this evening. My goal is just to raise the level of awareness of what's happening and what we're seeing there. This is not meant to be a doomsday scenario, although I won't claim to tell you that I'm giving you good news. I was going to give you a DEFCON level, but I don't really want to go on record doing that.
Wow.
So,
DEFCON.
the first slide here shows village-wide revenues. The village collects its revenues from a variety of sources. This slide shows all of the revenues that were budgeted for this year, and this is across funds. One thing to note as we look at this slide is that some of these revenues are earmarked or legally restricted for certain purposes. For example, motor fuel tax, must be spent on road programs or road-related expenses. The second slide is where we're going to focus most of our time this evening. This is on the general fund revenues. The state of Illinois serves as a collection and distribution center for many of our local taxes. The majority of this process is handled through the Department of Revenue and the comptroller's process. As you can see from the chart on this slide, about 80% of the village's revenues that are budgeted for this year flow through the state, which amounts to about $16 million of our revenue budget. This figure includes, but is not limited to, sales taxes, home rule sales taxes, which we just added this year, state income tax, and telecommunications tax. On the slide, it shows the specific amounts that are budgeted for, I'm pointing at the slide like you can see it, the specific amounts that are budgeted for these amounts, these revenues. The top three are obviously sales taxes, our home rule sales tax, and our income tax. Okay, this next slide depicts basically the prior slide. This depicts this in graphical form, the village's reliance on state funds, with the gray sections being the revenues flowing through the state and the red sections being collected locally, such as building permits, hotel motel taxes, inspection fees, parking tickets, and cell tower rental fees. Both the Northwest Municipal Conference and the Illinois Municipal League have expressed concerns that because there is no state budget agreement and that there is no spending authority, the state will at some point stop sending various tax revenues that they collect and distribute back to the municipalities. There's also a concern for the potential that these temporary cuts in disbursements to municipalities may become permanent. Included in the red numbers on this slide are motor fuel tax and local use tax. These taxes are broken out separately at the bottom of the slide because we've already seen a change in them. This past spring, the state swept all of their funds to locate funding, including those distributed to all municipalities. This sweep reduced the village's April motor fuel tax distribution by 50%, which amounted to about $23,000. This sweep was permanent, so we will not get that $23,000 back.
That was for a month?
That was for a month.
Because typically it's what, 1.6 million?
Per year. The motor fuel tax is about 600,000 a year.
600? Okay.
But the road program, we just talked about was about 1.2 million. Mhm. As of August 2015, the state stopped distributing motor fuel tax to all municipalities, so we are not alone. But this is about $50,000 a month for Vernon Hills. As of September, the state stopped distributions of local use tax to all municipalities, which is approximately $45,000 per month. Together, these revenues represent $1 million on an annual basis for us. If this trend continues for the rest of our fiscal year, that means we could lose as much as $700,000.
Yeah.
In the event additional distributions are halted, as appropriations continue to lapse, the village may be in danger of losing any other revenues that are collected and distributed by the state. And there's also a concern that another sweep may take place and that some of these losses can be permanent. Are there any questions on this slide before I continue? Okay. This slide shows the monthly expenditures for all funds. This is for fiscal year 2014, 2015, so if I can clarify, this is last year, last fiscal year. As you can see, the majority of the expenses are personnel expenditures, which would be expected from a service organization like the village. On average, monthly operating expenditures are approximately $1.9 million, with capital and debt expenditures varying throughout the year. Based on climate changes and debt service payment due dates, you'll see spikes in the different months. It is anticipated that the capital plan will be coming before the board in November. Over the next 5 years, the initial projections show this program to range between $5 and $8 million per year. The most significant upcoming projects includes $2 to $5 million for the intersection at Lakeview and Fairway and Town Line Road, $1.3 million for the traffic signal outside of CDW, and $1.2 million, as the mayor mentioned, per year for the annual road program. In the event that the state crisis continues, it's anticipated that the staff will bring back proposed modifications to the capital plan for the board to consider. Also included in this slide, the monthly expenditure slide, are dispatch services, which are also partially funded by the state of Illinois. This is obviously outside of the general fund. The revenue has not yet been affected. There has been some talk about it, but that could also be in danger to be affected by this budget process. And as we saw from the last slide, personnel is one of the main expenses of the village. It's one of the largest expenses of the village. However, as you can see from this graph, the village and the board have done an excellent job holding down the line on this expense item. In fact, current employment levels are lower today than they were in 1999, which is about 16 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
This slide shows the 5-year general fund reserve history. As you can see, the village has over 100% of annual general fund expenditures in reserve. It's about 110%. In the event of suspension of payments from the state, the village is fully equipped to weather a short-term shortfall in revenues. We are in much better shape than a lot of our neighbors. However, as we've talked about many times at the board level, both Moody's and Standard & Poor's have indicated that the general fund balance reserve must equal at least 75% of operating expenditures to maintain our AAA bond rating. And I just want to clarify, I know it says on this slide that this is general fund reserves only, and that is what matters the most to the rating agencies. Reserves in other funds, such as the motor fuel tax fund, or if you had a capital fund, specifically, would be reserved for other purposes, not,
So what's
for
the
your
number
operating.
that we have?
Oh, yeah.
We're at 24? 24 million, is that right?
24 million?
Yeah, we're at 24 million.
Chart says.
Thank you. And this requirement is larger than average than other municipalities because Vernon Hills is so reliant on sales taxes that
Right.
that moves with the economy. It is, somewhat of a volatile revenue, and we do not levy a property tax, so that reserve requirement is a little bit higher.
So if we're property tax reliant, it would be a lower requirement for the general fund?
What you see more often in a property tax-based environment is a 2 to 3 month reserve, and that's based off of your annual expenditures in the general fund. In the event, just a little bit further on this slide, in the event that the village would have to issue bonds in the future and our reserve levels do take a drastic drop, a lower credit rating could significantly increase the interest cost on borrowing. For that reason, careful review and consideration of the uses of reserves would be required. That's not to say that you can't use reserves, you just have to have a plan and be able to show that there is a purpose for that.
Yeah, in order to get like a bond interest rate that we just got tonight.
Exactly. Mhm.
And run that by me again about if the village, if a village has a property tax, the percentage is lower.
Correct.
By how much?
It's about 2 to 3 months worth,
I mean,
so.
It's not.
Off the 75%.
Is
Is that lower?
If they have a property tax, but if they're property tax dependent. We're sales
Yeah,
tax
yeah,
dependent.
yeah,
Correct.
Yeah, no, yeah, we're not
Right.
gonna hit anywhere close to that, yeah.
Right.
So what is that, 25%?
Yeah, the property tax would
Or
have to
25.
be significant.
Yeah. Well, it'd be like,
Would have to be greater than the sales tax,
yeah, it would be like,
yeah.
not naming it, but we'll say Mundelein, which has a very low sales tax base. So the majority, I'm
Yeah.
assuming, or Hawthorne Wood, your prior community, Don, that's a very
perfect example.
property tax dependent.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So they
Right.
need to have only a 3 or 4 month reserve, or 2 or 3 or whatever. So we'll never qualify for that.
no,
Which
which
is
is,
fine.
yeah, it is fine, I mean. Okay, you have the floor, Nikki.
All right, thank you. So my last slide for the evening, given the current state of the Illinois budget, many municipalities have come to the realization that strategic action might be needed locally in order to weather larger changes that would ultimately come in the near term. Again, I'd like to clarify, we're not asking for direction from the board or a decision this evening, but we do want to present some options that might be available to consider in the future should we see some drastic decreases in revenues or any type of permanent cuts. Included on this slide is a list of possible alternatives that the board might consider. Specific attention was given to options that would allow for the collection of these fees directly by the village and avoiding that flow of funds through the state of Illinois.
Right.
This slide shows the description of the revenues that we've identified, any assumptions that would be used in implementing these revenues, and then the estimates that follow in the column all the way to the right. Are there any specific questions about this slide, or are there any revenues specifically that you would like to go over? I know all the detail was included in the memo, but I also know that was a lot of information as well.
I have one. Nikki and I had a little sidebar earlier
Yeah, we
about
noticed.
this real estate property tax. But with it being said, I guess I need a little more information. It was my thought that we were already statutorily allowed to collect the property tax to cover the indebtedness, the debt service payments. We didn't need to go to referendum on that. We were already allowed to do that.
Because we're a city.
Oh, you're correct. I apologize. That note should not be there. That should be above there. That should be on the real estate transfer tax.
Oh,
So that's a Scrivener's error.
okay.
You are correct for the general obligation bonds. Every time you pass an ordinance, that there is a tax that is automatically levied for any GO bond issue. You actually have to be proactive to abate that tax so it does not happen, which is what we've historically done every year.
So you're saying a real estate tax, for a home rule community, what would be the limitation?
As of right now, there is not a limitation,
Well-
other than pitchforks from residents.
No, no,
Right.
that would
isn't
be
it?
angry.
Right.
Our limitation without a referendum is just up to the bond amount. So the 800,000 is our limit.
That would be for debt
Right, the
service.
annual debt service payment.
That'd be
which-
for debt service.
Right, which at this juncture, we're calling
Well,
800,000.
how much is the debt service?
It was budgeted at about $800,000 for this year.
On all the issues we have out
On all the issues, but we did issue just recently for the police station, and now just this evening, we added additional debt as well.
So that'll change the 800,000.
That'll change, that'll go up next year. So
Yeah.
we'll definitely be closer to $1 million, if not
Yeah,
slightly
and,
above
and,
that.
and even when we were non-home ruled, because I remember we had this discussion many moons ago, I think, you know, even a village that didn't have a tax could levy a tax if there was adverse judgments, you know, like lawsuit type stuff that you didn't have, you know, you didn't have the money for, and I believe it was employee benefits or there's a couple of, was it for, yeah, but you know, that was
Yeah.
it came up a long time ago.
And
So
there,
that would really need to be another line item. We need to add this then, is by law, we already have enacted, because we have pension funds that we are in fact managing. So we could in fact collect a property tax to cover that. What about the
So you would add- you-
IMRF contribution?
that's also correct.
So all of a
There's-
sudden, this 800 jumps significantly.
Yeah,
Correct,
to like 3
And
million,
like the police,
Correct.
1.2 million,
right.
yeah.
2 million, they're over.
That's
2
real
million.
money.
There are a plethora of options for real estate or property taxes. The option that was presented here was only representative of debt, but you can certainly levy for public pension levies.
Without referendum.
Without referendum, also for IMRF, and also for general operations. There's inclusions for that as well.
Yeah. Well, you know, and then the reality here is that, you know, we have a natural gas tax, and most of those user taxes, you know, electric, the number used to be about 2/3 was paid by the business community. Larry, Larry, don't go out on me yet.
No, actually, what, we did get rid of the natural gas tax about 10 years ago.
I know we did.
But
And
but
the
if we-
reason was because, or one of the motivating factors, I shouldn't say one of the motivating factors for replacing with the telecommunications tax was something like 75, 80% of the natural gas
Yeah.
utility was paid by residents. Electric, the last I looked, the ratio is a lot better. Businesses are paying the majority of the tax on the electric.
Probably be the same way with gas.
No,
It's gonna
he's
change.
indicating the opposite. Homeowners,
Excuse me.
Because of the fact that the gas was, as I recall, the term is wheeled in, for businesses, they're not using, their gas is supplied from out of state.
Yeah. From North Dakota, probably.
Yeah, probably.
yeah, wherever they're getting a better contract.
All right.
Plus also, a lot of businesses are going to heat pumps and things like
Yeah,
that.
sure. Yeah, it's
Or
okay.
Electric based, not,
They're going green.
right.
Of course, natural gas is still kind of green, you know.
Vehicle sticker.
Lot of-
Greener than coal.
It would certainly do wonders with power plants, you know.
The one thing I did really want to kind of pick up on was that taking out the property tax and also taking out the real estate transfer tax, which would require a referendum, just in the more, and I know this is a terrible term, but more mundane or innocuous taxes, we could generate the better part of
I'd rather pay that.
$250,000,
Food and beverage.
which would cover a significant sweep of any, whether it be sales tax, income tax, motor fuel tax, whatever, that they decide to sweep, without getting into property tax and maintaining our long-standing tradition of no property tax. So that's kind of a good thing.
I mean, there are definitely options.
Well,
that-
you know,
that
I
can
mean,
be brought to
there's an
bear.
option here too. You go back to a vehicle sticker. for
Yeah, well,
God's sake, you
they've
know.
got 600,000
You know.
noted in here for a vehicle sticker, but I'm assuming that would cost us $60,000 plus or minus to enforce that between the head count or part of a head count, plus the production, plus the
But, you know,
registration.
the only thing that does is it helps you when you park downtown.
Why?
True.
No, yeah,
True.
we give them out for free. And that's one of the reasons. Apparently, if you didn't have a sticker on the car, you were getting a ticket from the city of Chicago.
Oh, yeah, oh, yeah.
Oh, and you have,
Yeah, you know, they didn't, you know, they were indiscriminate, you know, you didn't have a sticker, man. You were, you were fair game. Come on, you're a city boy, you know.
I never parked downtown. I always took the L.
Okay, well, I'm just saying, I mean, that's why,
True city boy.
I used to take the bus. I wasn't that close to the L, you know. I used to do transfers a lot, you know.
I see you were
You know,
suburban. That
I
was
80
Homewood.
I was 80, no, not Homewood.
We used to.
87th and Costner. I was right on the border. The bus used to sit down by the hometown Christian church, if you want to get detailed about this. Go down there. We have the transfers, please.
I believe we're digressing.
stick.
Both you and I
All
are
right.
digressing.
It's all right. What with that said, okay, I don't, what else are we going to talk about tonight, though?
That's it.
Okay.
As this continues, you know,
At
this
least.
is, as
yeah.
the budget crisis continues, it's going to get more challenging for the state to balance their budget, and it may also be challenging for us to balance ours. So having been already impacted by the motor fuel tax and the local fuel tax, we'll continue to watch this, we'll continue to update you as the situation progresses, and that, you know, we will come back before the board to present additional information as it's received.
You know what would be kind of like important to do? Why don't we invite our state reps in here one night and go, you want to talk about the state budget? Carol, you know, Terry,
They don't want to talk about it.
I'd love to hear what they think the solution is our state representatives. You could extend the invite. I'd love to hear them.
Tell them we'd like an update from Springfield
Yeah,
via.
Hey, okay,
Sullivan.
bring Sullivan in too.
Sullivan and Duffy, because Duffy's not running again, right? So that you'd have two.
Duffy, he
Doesn't matter if
doesn't
they're running,
represent
I'm
this
still
town.
running. They were hired.
Yeah, he does.
hired,
If
Where?
Ed's
elected.
part, whatever Ed has
In
got.
Sullivan?
Yeah, whatever Ed has.
Who's Duffy?
Isn't it Duffy, the state senator? That covers,
Yeah.
I thought, weren't they in
What are
alignment?
you looking for?
No.
2 R's and 2 D's?
No. I thought that there was direct overlap between 2 state reps and 1 state senator.
No, I don't think so. But anyway, yeah, we'll invite anybody who represents us at
Yeah.
the state level.
Yeah.
You know, and you can make it the first meeting in November, you know?
Oh, well, I'll be at that one.
No? I mean, they might be back in session?
They'll be on vacation.
Yeah, let's all go, okay, there's nothing else to
sure
come
if I'll
before
make
the
that meeting.
committee at all, right?
Right.
Okay, is there a motion to adjourn and go into closed session for personnel only?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, motion is second, roll call, please.
Trustee Markwart?
Aye.
Trustee Cook?
Aye.
Trustee Williams?
Aye.
Trustee Hebda?
Aye.
Trustee Schultz?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Then I'm up to 22% charge.
Hey, Rod,
I gotta remember.
the other thing too is I was bringing.
Fire this thing.
What?